Yeah, I mean, we were lucky enough with what was the U.S. Army All-American game for 18 years. NBC owned the property. Navy has just came on board the last 2 years. We're excited to have them as a partner. Adidas has been in as our apparel partner, gosh, since 2010. Games played annually down in San Antonio. I was lucky enough to be in a extremely talented county running their youth league and high school league as far as scheduling goes and everything like that. The demographics of Gwinnett County, Georgia, was producing the number one talent in America outside of Dade and Broward in the country as I was raising my kids. And we're talking way back in the late 80s, early 90s. And just kind of developed an eye for talent. Being in that league and seeing so many players that were going Division I, you got to say, okay, this guy's going to be a mid-major guy. This guy's going to be a Group 5 guy. This guy's going to be a Power 5 guy. Now I'm talking language that those were the conferences back then. Now we're Power 4 and Group 4 and FCS and FBS and everything else. But I kind of got lucky and developed an eye, and I've heard similar stories from people in Brazil, how they develop an eye for soccer players, or people in Russia, how they develop an eye for gymnastics stars. So, I was just in the right place at the right time with a county that was growing faster than any county in the country. Gwinnett County, it went from a population of 100,000 people to 1.2 million people in 10 years. With that, the Robert Kimdichis and all these kids were moving in. And so that's how I got my background of getting into scouting and recruiting. NBC came to me and they were asking around, well, where are all these players coming from? And most of the places they were going, they were hearing that, the one or two guys ranked in the top 10 were coming out of Gwinnett County, the schools of Beaufort and Parkview and Brookwood and North Gwinnett and Peachtree Ridge. And my name was just thrown around a little bit, and they hired me on the spot. Me and my partner, Steve Quinn, spun off a camp series out of it, because what was happening is you were getting these great big physical specimens that were coming down to the game, and they may have been the number one player in Minnesota. And I'm going to use Centrell Henderson, an offensive tackle for the Miami Hurricanes, and later for the Minnesota Vikings, played in the NFL for several years. He was number one player in the country coming out of high school, and I want to say it was 2009, 2010. And he got on the big stage, and being 6'6", 300 pounds, he just dominated everybody in Minneapolis, in Minnesota. And then all of a sudden, he was matched up with a 6'5", 280-pound defensive end named Ronald Powell out of California, and he got exposed. And we're like, man, how can we fix this before they get on this stage? And kind of get them up. And that's where the camp series were in their infant steps in 2009. And we spun off FBU, Football University, to kind of bring the players in we were looking at, get them coached up by former NFL coaches or college coaches, and kind of fix their technique so that when they did go against somebody equally as talented as them, they didn't lose every rep.